We have some chaos unfolding in Washington, D.C., unsurprisingly. Don Jr. accuses head of the Department of Justice Election Crimes Unit of being deep state after he resigns in protest over Bill Barr authorizing prosecutors to pursue substantial allegations of voter fraud despite little evidence. William Barr sent a memo to allow federal prosecutors to investigate substantial allegations of voter fraud. Within hours, Richard Pilger, however you say that, Justice Department official who oversees investigations of voter fraud, resigned. Trump's son, Don Jr., was quick to criticize Pilger online and accuse him of being a member of the deep state. The president has vowed to fight the expected electoral defeat in the courts. It's cute that they're saying it's expected. He lost. There's no way he's going to win. And by the way, I know people who are scared by this because they see Trump trying to make it seem like there's still a chance and there's still a thing going on. It's donezo, son. It's over. It's over. If they do anything to have him stay in power, if he stays in power, it was a coup. Literally, that was a coup. That's what that is. That's what that is. And, you know, our rich history in this country is destroyed. And the whole idea of like sucking ourselves off for how great we are with the peaceful transition to power, that would be done. It would have died with a New York real estate con man, celebrity game show host. Okay, so it's over. It's done. Anyway, so now what's going on here? Bill Barr was like, oh yeah, we're going to open up an investigation into allegations of substantial voter fraud. This person who worked under him, them resigning, I think what that means is this is absurd. There's no widespread evidence of voter fraud. You're not going to overturn hundreds of thousands or millions of votes. This is ridiculous. And so they're stepping down because they don't want to be part of what is effectively a sham investigation. So I think it was a principled, like, I'm not going to take part in what I view as the destruction of our democracy in some ways. I think that's why that person stepped down. Now, I'm guessing, but I think that's why that person stepped down. Now, to Bill Barr, because this is being perceived in different ways from different crowds. Some people are saying, oh my God, here he is trying to do Trump's dirty work for him. By the way, there's this rich history and tradition for the Department of Justice to stay out of elections, and whenever there's issues, you leave it up to the states. But now the Department of Justice is getting involved, which means the federal government is getting involved in the election, which overturns the history and the tradition of it. And so some people are saying, here we go. This is evidence of Trump basically attempting a coup and trying to do it by any means necessary. If you go through Bill Barr and you try to muck up fake allegations of fraud, then this is one way to bring that about. So one crowd is basically hair on fire panicking and saying, sweet Jesus, this is really like a slow motion coup that's happening right in front of us. Now, the other crowd says, and I've seen people, this is not straight partisan lines. This is, politics makes strange bedfellows, and on this one, there are strange bedfellows. The other crowd is saying, no, you idiot. What's happening is Bill Barr is giving the Republican base something to hang on to help raise money for the Georgia special elections. So in other words, they don't want the wind out of their sails by acknowledging that Trump is defeated and that's the end of it. They want to give people in the Republican base that hope. So they're doing this. That'll help them raise money for the Georgia special elections. But more importantly, this could be Bill Barr just keeping Trump off of his ass. Keeping Trump off of his ass because he could say to Trump now, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm doing everything I can. I'm investigating all the claims of voter fraud. I'm investigating it. I'm on your side, dog. I'm on your side. Now, in reality, if they're being honest, the investigation will yield nothing. It's not going to yield anything. There's already been a couple of bullshit claims of voter fraud, and then the second people looked under the hood, they were like, oh, that's actually total bullshit. What they were claiming is not true. One of them was Trump accused some people of voter fraud. Turns out they were in the military, and then they had moved where they were living, and so that wasn't voter fraud. It was just military people who had moved. Like, everything that they point to, it winds up being bullshit. But anyway, if Bill Barr does this, then he can turn around to Trump and say, I'm on your side, dog. I'm doing everything you want. I'm investigating the claims of voter fraud. But then when all's said and done, he says, sorry, after January 5th, when there's the special election, right, after Georgia, then he goes, I looked, I couldn't find anything, man. I couldn't find anything. Turns out it's over. Biden's the president-elect. You got to move on. So there are two ways of interpreting it. One way is, oh my God, he's interfering in the election. This is overturning tradition and history and precedent. And he's interfering on the side of Trump, and they're going to try to muck up something and do a slow motion coup. That's one argument. The other argument is, no, he's really just placating Trump, first and foremost, to keep him off his ass, and also giving the Republican base hope with the January 5th special election in Georgia coming up. Which camp am I in? I don't know. I'm just agnostic. I don't know what the hell is happening, guys. I don't know how many times I could say this. I've said it in the context of other conversations as well. I can't keep up with everything that's going on. My mind can't keep up with everything. I'm just looking around. I feel like it's chaos. I feel like I'm a passenger and I'm watching, like, a car crash happen in slow motion, and I'm like, oh my God, I feel like helpless to try to change the outcome of anything. I feel like I'm watching a movie, and it's an insane movie, and it keeps getting crazier and crazier. I don't know. I have no idea what Bill Barr's doing. But either way, even if it is the thing where he's placating Trump, either way, you're playing some dirty, gross politics here, man. This is really not good. And when you look at Trump and how he's not hinting even a little bit that he's going to accept the results of the election, and we'll get to it later, but he's making moves, firing certain people in top positions at the Pentagon and putting his own loyalists in there. I do not like the look of it. I do not like the look of it at all. So I don't know. I'm not going to make a prediction. I'm not going to say what's going to happen, but either way, this should concern you. Either way, this should concern you. Even if it's purely a political move and to placate Trump, that's bad enough. Or if it's actually they're up to something nefarious, that's obviously horrendous as well. So, and I don't see the Democrats responding much. Like, you have Trump, and then you have a bunch of his cronies, not all of them, but a bunch of his cronies, literally like, no, we're not acknowledging the election. And the Democrats are just moving along as if there's people not saying that. They're acting like everybody's kind of accepting the legitimacy of it. And it's just weird that we live in it's like these parallel universes. We're watching this happen, where one, they're trying to act like everything is normal. The other one is like, he's acting like some tin pot dictator. So I'll keep you guys updated, but just know I'm watching and holding my breath as well.